Hey everybody, it's Dan again from Lazertoyz. I just thought I'd do a quick demo on our soldering station. We've had these for quite a while. I mean, this station is probably a year old at least, and I'll bet you a lot of you have used it at a lot of the get-togethers at the fun flies and everything. We always set up a repair station. But anyway, it's a good little soldering station. You can see by the tip it's been used a lot, and it's still good. Now these tips are really inexpensive here. You can replace them, but usually it doesn't really make a big difference if they look a little dirty. Usually just clean it off on the wet pad. Just use some water on the pad. Keep your pad kind of wet. So you've got a little bit of water on there. You can kind of wipe it on there, and you can see it cleaned off the tip very nicely. I'm going to do a Dean's connector because that's what everybody says they have trouble with. This is a female Dean's, and we're just going to make an extension here. Remember, on a Dean's, it's a T shape. The top is always positive. Always put your heat shrink on your wire. If you have a connector on the other end already, you will not be able to put that on there afterwards. So I'm going to put these on, and I've got my heat shrink on both sides. So there it is, there's the other one. I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, use your solder to transfer the heat into the connector. If you just hold this on the connector, it's going to get hot, and it is not going to transfer heat. It's going to start melting the connector, and you got a bad thing. So just use your solder. Look, it takes about a minute. No, a minute, what am I talking? It took about 10 seconds, if that. Same thing over here. Just put a little solder on there, and look, it goes right on the connector. Now this is set at 480 degrees centigrade. It's about as hot as this station will go, but that's all you need. Then we've got some 14 gauge wire here, and I've already pre-tinned these, but I'm gonna go ahead and add a little more solder to these. And again, I'm going to use the solder to tin these, but I'm using the solder to transfer the heat. Okay, at the top of the T, I'm gonna try to point this so you can actually see what I'm doing. All right, I'm gonna just start melting the solder on the opposite side. Look, it goes right together. Just hold it still for a little bit. And good, you got a connection. You can make it, you know, if you want to get it a little bit better, you can flip this little fixture around to get different angles and everything. But now I'm going to do this is a cool little fixture too. It's a little RC jig for soldering. And again, we've used this thing over and over again. It works really good. I've got some connectors in here, some 2mm bullet connectors we're going to solder next. But anyway, let's finish this up. I'm going to just heat up. I'm going to add a little bit of solder to this side because it didn't have much on there. And see how that goes on so easy now. And I'm going to heat this up, transfer the heat into that, and we're done. And if you look, I mean, that's a decent connection. And then just slide your shrink down over top of it, and then shrink it down. And I've got a nice little extension now, and it only took me, you know, a couple minutes to make. It took me longer to explain it to you than to make it. Now you can shrink this a couple different ways. You can use a heat gun or whatever. A little lighter will work too. Just kind of, there you go. Nice little connection. Okay, now we got a blue under here. We're gonna add connectors on. The way I do this, there's different holes in this jig. You've got 2mm, 3, there's actually 2mm, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on up. There's also a couple little end pieces that 2mm fit in really good. And what I'm going to do again is, see, I transferred the heat into there. Then I'm going to take my wire from my motor, well, that's hot, and just dunk it down in there. Heat it up a little bit. Wait till it cools. And then I always pull these out just to make sure my connection is good. And you can see that works out really good. Now these you can put the shrink on afterwards because they'll fit over the connector. Again, I'll do 2 more here. You can see this is not rocket science here. It is mostly technique. And if you get a little bump on there, you can actually take your soldering tip and kind of knock it off. Wipe it off on your pad. That'll make it good. We'll do the last one here, and then we'll shrink it. But just wanted to give you a quick demo, show you how easy this really is. And with a small investment of a soldering station, around $30, you're gonna be able to make your own connections, and it's not that difficult. So have fun.